Hey, if you're new here, welcome to EmpireLocked. We're leveling this warrior all the way to level 60 using only crafted gear. And to make it even crazier, he's not allowed to craft any of that gear himself. Every piece he wears has to come from his empire of support characters. So let's go chase our biggest challenge yet.
And don't forget to subscribe to follow the journey.
Last episode, the Empire was born. The King, Blades the Orc, received his very first shipment from the Empire. And that proved that this challenge was actually possible. But after all that progress, he already outgrew his gear. Luckily, Blades trolling our blacksmith, he's been working hard forging something stronger. Because today, we're taking on one of the biggest challenges yet, Fizzle. Normally, you don't fight Fizzle alone, especially at level 10 in hardcore. But that's exactly what we're gonna try.
See you on the death channel.
Pick or didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Yet. So I made my way over to the mailbox and there it was. Gloves. A brand new chest piece. Pants. And most importantly, the copper battle axe. This is a huge upgrade. Not only did it hit a lot harder than my old one-handed axe, but it gave me 3 extra stamina, which meant even more health. Blades trolling even included a rough sharpening stone. It added 2 weapon damage for 30 minutes. Really didn't sound like much, but in hardcore, every little advantage matters, especially fighting Fizzle at such a low level. And just like that, the King finally started to look like a true warrior. Before heading out, I realized I forgot to train my level 8 abilities in the last episode, so I probably should do that before I do anything else. With that taken care of, it was finally time to see what this new gear could do. I could feel the difference with the first swing. The boards that gave me a little bit trouble before didn't stand a chance. Everything was dying so much faster that I even started to feel maybe a little bit too confident. So I pushed further into Razormane territory. And honestly, I was almost two-shotting everything. Since I was already here, I decided to start working towards another goal. The King had a plan, and it was a pretty big one. But you'll have to wait just a little bit longer to find out what that is. For now, I needed supplies. So for the next 30 minutes to an hour, I mined every copper vein that I could find. And I picked every herb that wasn't trying to get me killed. Well, almost every herb. I spotted a peace bloom sitting right next to a level 11 rare spawn, which I think I could take, but he was surrounded by other enemies as well. I'm pretty sure most people would probably walk away and say, it's just a peace bloom, but I'm not most people. I still wanted that peace bloom, so naturally I went back, this time a little bit smarter, and I was gonna pull one at a time, but I still managed to pull 2 scorpions and another raptor. My health dropped really fast. It got down to 15%, and at this point, I knew it wasn't worth risking everything, so I ran one more time, and I barely escaped. After I calmed down, I really slowed down, and I killed one by one. And finally claimed the prize. Mission complete, I got the peace bloom. Not long after that, I spotted a copper vein, and sitting right behind it was a level 11 elite. This was definitely risky, but I managed to sneak behind him, grab the copper, and get out of there before he even noticed. While I was finishing up the Razormane quest, I finally reached the herbalism level I needed to gather my first mage royal. By this point, I collected a good amount of copper, finished most of my quests in this area, and finally reached level 9. Back to Razor Hill, I turned in all the quests, I sold off all the junk in my bags. Then I made another stop to the mailbox to send even more supplies to the rest of the Empire. I also trained first aid because after those few close calls, I figured not bleeding to death sounded like a good investment to me. Since I was only one level away from my Fizzle challenge, I decided to kick out a few more quests while collecting more copper. Along the way, I stumbled across this chest. Inside was a silver bar, which will definitely come in handy later on, and even better, a recipe for a red linen robe, and that's going straight to the tailor when the time comes. But back to Razor Hill. I mailed that last shipment. Remember I told you about that plan earlier? Well, that's gonna take a lot of materials. Alright, now I'm finally ready for that final push. Let's hit level 10. I headed over to the dust runners and started clearing them out. A couple pools got sketchy, but after everything that happened earlier, I wasn't taking any unnecessary risk. One enemy at a time. One copper vein at a time. And before I knew it, I hit level 10. I turned in my quest.
Be good.
I learned my new level 10 abilities. I crafted up some heavy linen bandages. Took one last look over my gear, and finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to introduce the next member of the Empire. Meet Bladeshot. Her one and only job was simple. Become the Empire's engineer and craft the king his very first range weapon. Before we could get started, the king mailed over a little care package, the tailor mailed over some bags, the leather worker mailed over a few pieces of gear, and the blacksmith mailed over the copper axe. The Empire was finally working as a team. The only problem was we couldn't use that axe to level 4. So we headed back to the valley to start leveling.
What do you need?
And I'm not even kidding, this was rough. Hunters are really meant for fighting at distance, but without a bow or a gun, we're basically just punching everything to death. Every fight felt sketchy because my health was just disappearing. I honestly felt like I was made out of glass, so I took it slow and steady. I hit level 2, then level 3, and finally level 4. This is where we could equip the copper axe. That one upgrade made a huge difference. I could finally use my ability Raptor Strike and start hitting things a little bit harder. I finished up a few more quests and there it was, level 5. Now the real mission begins. I went to the hunter trainer to look at my new abilities, but I didn't pick anything up because they all required a ranged weapon, and that's exactly what we're here to build. The king already milled over a ton of copper and rough stones, so I ran to Razor Hill to pick that up. And then took that long trip to Orgrimmar.
Strength and honor.
Then I trained engineering and got to work. I crafted rough blasting powder, a bunch of handfuls of bolts, and after a little bit of grinding, finally reached level 50 at engineering. That's the level it has to be to craft a rough boomstick. There was only one problem. I was completely broke. I couldn't even afford the rest of the materials to make the gun. Luckily, the king spotted me a small little 8 silver loan, and with that, we picked up everything we needed. I crafted the copper tubes, built the arc light spanner, and finally, the rough boomstick. The king officially had his first range weapon. It was packed up with 400 rounds of ammo. I shipped everything off, and just like that, another piece of the Empire was complete. Now that the Empire has finished the king's first gun, there was one big problem. He had no idea how to use it. So it was time for another dangerous journey, all the way from Duratar to Thunderbluff. This trip wasn't just about learning how to use a gun though. I was gathering every little thing I could along the way. Every herb, every copper vein, every resource that would help make the kingdom stronger. The further south I traveled, the more dangerous things got.
No.
Raptors started roaming nearby. Higher level enemies were everywhere, and one wrong turn could have ended up very badly. Then I spotted something I couldn't pass up. A briarthorn. It was a little risky because we're in a way higher level area, but that herb could be turned into a healing potion later, and that could actually save my life when fighting Fizzle. So I took the chance and I grabbed it, and then hightailed it out of there. I was running down this super overgrown trail, and if I wasn't on a mission right now, I would have gave it a super nice sidewalk makeover. But this was a business trip, so I kept on moving. I started to see Thunderbluff in the background, and then I finally made it. I went up the elevator and went straight over to the weapon master.
Greetings.
He taught me how to properly use a gun. I then walked over to the mailbox, equipped the rough boomstick, and man, this thing looks good. I had to get a cool looking shot right here. Time to hit the Hearthstone back to Duratar, find the nearest razor mane. The king finally had a proper range weapon, but while he was out putting it to work, another member of the Empire had their own mission. Our warlock still needed cloth to keep the Empire supplied with bags, and I wanted him to learn something else. So I go check the mailbox, I grab all the linen cloth from Blade's trolling, and even the red linen robe recipe that was waiting on me. I turn all that cloth into bolts. I crafted a few bags for the Empire, and then it was time to give the warlock his second profession.
What would you ask of death?
There was really only one choice. Tailoring and enchanting go hand in hand, and later on those enchants are going to be huge for the Empire. But before we could do any of that, the king mailed over an old axe for me to disenchant and get things started. But now I needed more linen, and a lot of it. So I headed over to my favorite farming spot, started wiping them out, and eventually had enough to learn brown linen robe. I Hearthstone back to Brill. Wait, what the heck? I hate when this happens. That's not Brill. I completely forgot to move my Hearthstone. So after a nice little jog back from the starting zone, I finally made it to Brill, and I picked up some red dye, crafted the red linen robe, a brown linen robe, and then I mailed the other robe along with 3 other bags to the last member of the Empire. With that done, it was back to farming. I needed stacks and stacks and stacks of linen, because the fastest way to level enchanting right now was making brown linen robes, just to tear them apart and disenchant them. I finally hit level 9 along the way, had one pretty close call fighting 2 zombies at once. As I was fighting them, I pulled a 3rd one. Those 2 killed my pet, so I went ahead and decided once I kill one, I'm gonna make a run for it because my health was dropping fast. This is honestly one of the worst feelings in hardcore is when you're running away from a couple mobs and you get dazed. But we got away and managed to stay alive. After one more round of farming, I learned a few new tailoring recipes, crafted enough robes to get my enchanting where I needed it, and started disenchanting every single one of them. That unlocked one of the biggest upgrades yet for the casters. the Lesser Magic Wand. I grabbed a simple wood and then I got to work. Packed everything up into a care package and sent it off to the newest member of the Empire. This is Bladesmon, and she starts just like everybody else in the Empire, naked. But I don't want to get flagged for anything inappropriate, so let's skip to level 5 so we can be fully clothed and pick up our profession. The cool thing is, before we even got moving on this character, the Empire had already taken care of us. Zomblades, shipped over the Lesser Magic Wand, a full set of cloth gear, and Blades Trolling even forged us a copper mace, just to make these early levels a lot easier. This troll priest had one job: become the Empire's alchemist. So I left the starting zone, headed straight over to Sinjin village, and learned alchemy.
Greetings, man. Stay away from them.
On my way to the mailbox, I picked up every herb I could see. I finally got to Razor Hill, and the king had a surprise shipment for me. A ton of herbs that he's been picking on his journey. Between all those herbs, we pretty much had a good head start. So I made my way to Orgrimmar, found What, the journeyman alchemist, and started brewing up everything I could. Some minor healing potions, weak troll's blood potions, elixirs, basically anything that would get my alchemy skill up. But there was one recipe I was really after though. I went to learn that potion, but there was just one problem. I was completely broke. Money disappears fast when you're building an entire empire. Luckily, Zomblades chipped in 10 silver, and the king mailed over a few more coins along with a shipment of herbs. That was just enough to keep this operation running. I finally learned that lesser healing potion and got right to work. Then I shipped off everything the king needed for the fight because every little advantage mattered. We're only level 10, and Fizzle, he wasn't going to take it easy on us. Now, it was finally time to see if the Empire has done enough. Every shipment we got, every crafted upgrade, and every potion, it all led to this moment right here. And Fizzle was waiting. Before stepping into the canyon, I wanted every advantage I could get, so I drank my elixirs, which was one for extra health, one for extra damage, and then Troll's Blood Potion for health regeneration, and finally an elixir for minor defense to boost my armor. There was no turning back now. It's funny because the first challenge wasn't even Fizzle. It was finding my way through this canyon. One thunder lizard at a time, I slowly cleared a path. I was just making sure I wouldn't get overwhelmed once the real fight started. And while I'm clearing out those lizards, I just want to say thank you so much. I honestly had no idea episode 1 was going to take off the way it did, and seeing so many comments of people enjoying the EmpireLocked challenge and even starting their own empires. All the comments were so awesome. Just wanted to let you know real quick that if you wanted to play with me, I'm on the server Skullrock. Just shoot me a message. We could get some levels in together. And if you're new here and wanted to follow the journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Now back to Fizzle. Once the canyon was clear, it was finally time. The rogue invited me to a group, but I had to turn it down. If we were gonna beat Fizzle, the king was doing it alone. I carefully pulled the first enemy with that rough boomstick and took them down one at a time. Void Walker, knowing it would bring an extra enemy with it. After a little kiting backwards, the Void Walker finally went down, and it was time to kill the Warlock that summoned it. While I wait for Fizzle to walk away, he finally moves away, so I shoot this level 9 that's to the left of him. I'm taking it nice and easy because I want to play it smart and not die. I then take out that level 9 and I charge over to the next enemy that was to the right. Took them down, and now it's just me and Fizzle. I charge him, I smash his imp before he could become a problem, and then turn everything I had onto Fizzle. He started draining my life. And once he dropped below half health, I finally started believing we could actually do this. One more heroic strike and he's down. We did it. Fizzle's Claw is ours. With Fizzle behind us, the next goal was obvious. Ragefire Chasm. I still needed all the dungeon quests, so I headed over to Skullrock first. If you ever played hardcore, you already know. This cave has claimed a lot of lives. Luckily, my buddy Priest2 joined me, and we made it through kinda safe-ish. We grabbed everything we needed and got out of there without adding another name to Skullrock's list. From there, it was all about preparing for RFC.
For the Horde. Strength.
I picked up the Hidden Enemies quest from Thrall, and I traveled all the way to Undercity to pick up another RFC quest. I also decided to hit Brill and quest over there for quite some time.
What now? Trust no one. Goodbye.
Just like Skullrock, this crypt was also a very dangerous area to get into. Luckily, there was a warlock and a mage here, and they made it a little bit easier. We kind of helped each other out. I helped them kill Captain Dargle, and they also helped me kill him, so shout out to them. I headed back, turned that quest in, and along the way there was a zombie and I was really close to level 13, so I killed it, and there we go. Ding! I turned in all the quests. Then we had another long journey ahead of us. That journey was to Thunder Bluff. So while I hit the Barrens, I did some quests along the way. I destroyed the Demon Seed. That was a pretty fun quest to do. It's kind of like you're in a whole different world up here on top of this super tall mountain. It's all red and hazy. I'll tell you what, this gun comes in handy. Honestly think if I didn't have it, I probably would have died fighting Fizzle because I would have pulled too many mobs. So I destroyed the Demon Seed. Then I make my way back to turn in the quest. It's funny because I get all these quest rewards, but since we didn't craft them, we can't use them. So they go straight to the vendor. Now the long trip. We made it to the Thunder Bluff elevator. Comment down below and let me know if you know anybody that died over here in Thunder Bluff from fall damage. And here we are, Thunder Bluff. I pick up that last RFC quest. I'm super close to level 14, and I really want to hit level 14 to do RFC. So I kill one harpy. And there we go, we're level 14. Then as I'm running back up to Thunder Bluff, I put all my talents into deflection. It increases your parry chance by 5%. I run over to the warrior trainer and I train Demoralizing Shout and Revenge. I'm not gonna train Shield Bash because we can't craft a shield, so it's kind of pointless to even buy that ability, so I didn't.
Be careful.
While the king was traveling around Azeroth getting ready for Ragefire Chasm, our blacksmith had his own mission. Before the king ever stepped foot inside the dungeon, I wanted to forge him the biggest weapon upgrade yet, the heavy copper broadsword. The first stop was to the expert blacksmith. I checked the recipe and quickly realized there was a problem. It required level 95 blacksmithing, and I wasn't anywhere close because you can't even get it past level 75 unless you're level 10, so I had some grinding to do. Before heading out, I trained my new level 8 abilities, Hearthstone back, and started farming all the copper I needed to get this done. Along the way, I hit level 9, knocked out a few quests in the area, then also hit level 10. Level 10 was a pretty big milestone for a rogue. I learned Slice and Dice, Sprint, and most importantly, I could finally dual wield. With a weapon in each hand, farming becomes a whole lot faster and a whole lot safer. Speaking of faster, Sprint also made running from copper vein to copper vein much easier, even though it only lasted for 15 seconds. Once I had enough copper ore, I trained journeyman blacksmithing and crafted anything that would push my skill level higher. Gloves, belts, anything that would get me closer to 95. I even forged myself a second dagger, and for the first time, blade trolling actually looked like a real rogue. Like a real rogue. I must have miscalculated because I ran out of copper, so back to running around hitting copper veins. With that one last lap around Duratar, I finally had enough, so I walked back to the trainer and I learned the heavy copper broadsword. This was it, the king's biggest upgrade yet, or at least I thought. I opened the recipe and I immediately realized I had a big problem. We needed medium leather and no one in the Empire was a high enough level to gather some yet. So stay tuned for next week because the Empire has another problem to solve. We finally unlocked the king's biggest upgrade yet, but we're still missing one crucial material. Who's gonna solve it and how? You have to tune in next time. Long live the king. EmpireLocked.